the decision agreed. Thankfully, Justice Young gave a decision validating the positions of the female police officers and finding that indeed they violated their rights to freedom of conscience, freedom of expression, as well as freedom against discriminatory treatment. So essentially, those were the findings of the court. This decision itself is certainly a celebration and again a validation of Black women's right to expression and to express their identity. And as the claimants also indicated, for them it was really to resist against the notion that Afro-textured hair and just generally characteristics and traits that are associated with persons of African descent are somehow not acceptable or not professional in the workspace. From that very limited perspective, it still means a lot, right? So looking at the judgment, and there's no written judgment as yet, that I'm assuming will come shortly, but in the oral decision, it was clear that what the implications are is that it is an obligation or a call on decision makers to really take into consideration the implications on diversity when they are imposing what facially looks like a neutral and like a neutral regulation that applies to everybody the same, so that the right to protection against discriminatory treatment does not only guarantee that you're going to be treated the same, but rather it also guarantees that our differences will be accommodated and that our differences will be celebrated. And so what it means is that when it comes to things that have implications on racial and cultural identity, as well as religious beliefs, then if there is going to be a regulation that will infringe upon that to some extent, then that infringement needs to be legitimate, and it needs to also serve a purpose beyond just uniformity, for instance, in this case.